What's happening, people? Welcome to United Plus, where we're going to be talking about United transfers. I'm a bit of a happy man today, man. I'm a bit of a happy man. We're going to be talking about us moving in for Ollie Watkins. We're actually making that move now. And we're going to be talking about why I was really behind that move. You know, if you've tuned in the last couple of days, I've been talking about how much I would like to see Ollie Watkins in a Man United shirt. We'll talk about that, and we'll talk about, you know, comparisons, Sesko, all of that stuff. We'll also be talking about the midfielder links. Now, Fabrizio Romano has jumped on in Italian, done a video just like maybe an hour ago, talking about Douglas Luiz and how he wants to be coming to the Premier League and trying to force that back. But apparently we're moving closer and closer to getting Javi GUERRA. So yeah, we'll be talking about Javi GUERRA, Douglas Luiz. We'll do a little comparison on them too. But also Rio Ferdinand's been talking about Belieber. So we'll add him in there as well, and we'll do a little comparison, and we'll see. You know, obviously Belieber's he's unbeliever, but he's the one that we'd love to see the most. But is that really going to happen? Maybe if we manifest it, maybe if we chat about it, maybe if we put it into the air, then it will be more likely to happen for us. So yeah, first things first, we're moving in for Watkins. Happy days, man. Happy days. I'm a big fan of Ollie Watkins. Like, I like Ollie Watkins ever since he played for Brentford. You know, like, I grew up in Brentford. I grew up watching Brentford. We are finally making the move for a striker. And, you know, we were linked to Sesko yesterday and the day before that. And, you know, like, all right, cool, whatever, Sesko. But, you know, he's averaging 13, 14 goals in the Bundesliga. Ollie Watkins is banging in 19, 18 every season in the Premier League. What's happening? What's going on? Yeah, so he's banging in 19, 18 in the Premier League every season. He's a Premier League proven striker. And this is the thing about Amorim now, that the one thing that I can rate and I can say, yeah, is good, man, because he's out here getting Premier League proven players, because he knows that he's not completely clocked the Premier League yet. So he needs to be getting players in that have. He needs to be getting in Premier League proven players. So that's why if you've given him the choice, out of Ollie Watkins or Benjamin Sesko, I think Amorim's going to choose Ollie Watkins every time, just because he knows the Prem. You know, Amorim needs help with knowing the Prem, because he's already admitted it's a different beast. He's already said it. And he hasn't been able to hack it and hasn't been able to adapt to it just yet. Hopefully he gets the hang of it. So it's yeah, it's good. It's a great move for me, Ollie Watkins, man. I'm happy with that. I think he can do all of the stuff that we need him to do in terms of bringing in Cunha and bringing in Mbeumo into the play, coming in deep, holding up the ball. He does it all, man. I've been watching him since Brentford. You know, he's lost a little bit of pace since then, but he's gained in finishing, and he's always been good at finishing, but he's gained in like hold up play and one touch bounce and playing, and yeah, he's the man for us. He's the man for us. I'm feeling that move, man. I like it. I think it's a smart move. Every single player that we're going for, that we've signed so far, has been like, look, Cunha and Bumo, they're both been playing at Premier League teams, but we can see in both of them the potential that they could go to better teams. And if they do go to better teams, then they'll be even better. And I think Ollie Watkins is one of those players too. Look, he went from Brentford to Aston Villa and he got better. And if he comes another step up to Man United, he's going to get even better. He'll handle the pressure. And yeah, man, that's the man for us. What are people saying? Jim's saying, yeah, but Villa's saying they don't want to sell Watkins. Bro, do you know what it is? A lot of teams say they don't want to sell a lot of people. Do you know what I mean? A lot of people say that. They say, oh, yeah, he's not for sale, da, 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 da. But I think it's just a tactic. It's just a technique. It's just a sales tactic. And they're just trying to, get what their asking price is because they know that 60 million is a lot. I see some people saying, look, why don't we just swap Garnacho? Because they want Garnacho. Someone in the chat said yesterday, swap Sancho plus 10 mil for or what? That obviously that's a far-fetched one, but swapping Garnacho, that's a possibility. We could actually swap Garnacho plus 20 mil. Or not even plus 20 mil, plus 10 mil, because Garnacho, look, we wanted 70 mil for him at the start of the transfer window. Now it's dropped down to about 50, but Ollie Watkins is worth 50. So give him Garnacho plus a little 10 mil just for good grace, and boom, take your Ollie Watkins. That summer 2023 window is arguably our worst window in terms of value for money, and it's difficult to offload them and Anthony as well. What a criminal. Talking about ETH there. It has put us in this position now. It has set us back. Wasn't Mason Mount part of that transfer window? Because, yeah, man, if he was, that's just fucking ridiculous, isn't it? RSV saying, I want the Dutch police to investigate ETH and the SEG agency for money laundering schemes. Yeah, man, they done us differently. Mount and Matic, new Premier don't really help. Yeah, but they Mount come as an injury-prone geezer, and Matic came after his prime. I think Ollie Watkins is not injury-prone. He's as a first striker, he's in his prime. 28 years old, he should be in his prime, and we'll be getting him at the right time, man. He'll be coming in, he'll be firing. Jim saying Watkins would do well for a couple seasons, hence why we can't be paying more than 40 mil for this, Donny. It's true. Look, I hear it about the age thing, but like I said, he's in his prime. He's somebody that can come in, hit the ground running. We're not wasting any time waiting for him to get older. We're not wasting any time waiting for them to learn the Prem and having a season to settle. We can't. Every striker that comes from abroad needs a season to settle. We know this. So we can't afford to give them a season to settle right now, man. Players need to be coming in, hit the ground running, scoring at least, 16, 17 goals in the Premier League this season. Will Ollie force Villa to let him leave? He should do. He should do, man. He knows, look, Man United are coming for him. Villa are saying, oh, we don't want to sell. He's not for sale. But, mate, do what Isaac's done, man. Isaac's come out and said, you know what, I'm off. I want to go. So yeah, do it, man. He should be doing that anyway. So yeah, man, I'm excited about that. Ineos are finally pulling their finger out and getting a move on with this. Like they took ages to do in Bumo. But they got it done in the end, and they only seem to be able to do one at a time. Now they're focusing their interests on Ollie Watkins, which I'm excited about, very excited about. Another one that Fabrizio has recently just dropped a little bomb on is Douglas Luiz. Douglas Luiz is apparently trying to force a move to the Premier League. He wants to be in the Premier League. He wants to come back. He hasn't liked it in Italy. And he's the kind of midfielder that we need. Quickly, just going to touch on this. Jimmy says, wouldn't you rather have Mateta, though? I think they're the same age, aren't they? And Ollie Watkins, has been scoring a few more goals than Mateta, hasn't he? Season in, season out. I don't know. I think I'd rather have Watkins. I know I do like Mateta. I think he's silky. I do like him on the ball. He's got a good touch. But Watkins, I think he's just gonna, I don't know, he's gonna come in and hit the ground running, man. He is. He's got that Premier League striker about him now, hasn't he? He's ready for that step up. He made the step up from Brentford to Aston Villa. He took it in his stride. Now he's ready. He's ready again. How about try to get Wood from Nottingham? Wood is a player you have to play for his strengths. I think he's one of them players where, look, Alanga got a lot of assists because he crossed the ball a lot at Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest did get the ball in the box a lot. We don't really do that. I know Mbumo's coming in and he's going to start crossing the ball in and whatnot. But Man United seem to like dilly-dally pass the ball around the edge of the box a million flipping times until Bruno ends up crossing the ball in. And sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. So it's like I would get Wood, but you'd have to play to his strengths. And playing to his strengths means getting the ball in the box or getting the ball high. Do you know what I mean? So it's one of those ones. Jonathan Burke says, big up Jonathan Burke. He's saying Sesko easily the better option. If Garnacho can be sold to Juventus for a good amount, then it's a no-brainer. The key here is getting rid of Garnacho to fund the purchase. Sesko is much younger. I hear that. Sesko is much younger. But the thing with Sesko is he's averaging 13 goals a season in the Bundesliga. And Ollie Watkins is averaging 15, 16 goals in the Premier League every year. So, do you know what I mean? It's a bit of a risk. And what I'm saying about Ollie Watkins is we're not in a position to be giving players a season to settle in the Prem and all of that stuff. We need somebody to come in and hit the ground running. We finished 15th last season. So we need somebody. That's why we're doing all of these signings that we're doing. That's why we're buying from the Prem players that have been doing well in the Prem. That's why we're buying Mbumo and Cunha and players that we know are going to hit the ground running. Because, like I said, Amorim doesn't know this Premier League as well as he thought he was going to, and he's come in and it's been a completely different beast for him. So he's needing to get players in that know the league, and that's what he's done so far, which I think is a smart move. So yeah, Ollie Watkins come in, hit the ground running. The other strikers that we got, Xerxes, Højlund, they'll learn off him. Hopefully, I don't know, man. What they're saying is, if we don't get Watkins, then we're going to have to rely on Højlund and Xerxes. But also they're saying that if we do get Watkins, then Højlund might S out, which is ideal. And that's exactly kind of what we want. So yeah, man, I'm all for it. I'm happy that we're going for Watkins. Jim Bob says Watkins is a year older than Mateta. I'm assuming you're saying. Yeah, true. But I mean, but Watkins has more Premier League experience, which is what we know. I'm not concerned with the age, whether it's 28, 29, as long as it's not like 32 or older than that. Do you know what I mean? Like if he's 28, 29 is a Premier League striker's prime. That's when you should be experienced enough, but still fit. It's perfect. It's the perfect age for us. We got young strikers. We got Chido. We got Højlund. We got Xerxes. They're all younger than 25. So these players, when Ollie Watkins, somebody like that who's a seasoned striker in the Premier League now. Comes in, they're going to be learning off him. He's going to be bagging goals straight away. He's going to settle into the Prem straight away because he knows the league. These other little muppets don't really know the league like Ollie Watkins. You know what I mean? So I don't think his age is a problem at all, man. Sesko is 22. I hear that, but like I said, that's a risk. We've got young strikers there already. If we can get rid of Højlund and get Sesko in, but also get Ollie Watkins, that would be like the most ideal thing, obviously. But dreamers can dream, innit? Check their stats. Mateta scored more last couple seasons. I don't think did Mateta score more than 19 goals, because last season Ollie Watkins scored 16, but he missed a few games because Rashford was about. The season before that, Ollie Watkins scored 19 in the Prem, and I'm not sure how many goals he scored in other competitions. But I know he scored 19 in the Prem and got about 5-6 assists. So I don't know. Has Mateta ever scored more than 19 in the Prem? I'm not sure about that. Watkins is 29. Great age. Great age. Wood is 33. Forget my man. Yes. Sesko will go Newcastle if Isaac leaves. That's the thing. It's like it's moving like Tetris. Like everybody's kind of finding their, all these strikers are just moving at the moment. Like Wissa might end up at Newcastle. You know, he might go from Brentford to Newcastle, and Isaac to Liverpool and Watkins to Villa. Who's going to go Villa? Who's going to be their striker? Villa might get Sesko. Never know, innit? Sesko still Champions League proven. Watkins a 30-year-old for 60, or Sesko 22 for 70. It's the Premier League tax, though, isn't it? You're buying a Premier League proven player, and he's 29, or you want to get a younger who could come to the Premier League and end up being Timo Werner. We can't afford to take that risk right now. We need guaranteed goals in the Prem. We can't be bringing another young kid to the Prem who, let's be honest, like Sesko does look like a bit of a string bean. What if he comes to the Premier League and he's weak and defenders are having him up? This is the thing. This is what Amorim realized, and this is what Højlund has realized. The Premier League is a different beast. Even the lower level teams have centre backs that are strong. They have beastly centre backs. We can't be bringing like youngers who come in and aren't ready for that scrap and give them a season to settle in the Prem, and you know what I mean. Like that's a big thing. Like having a season to settle in the Prem is what all strikers need when they come to the Premier League. It's always been that way, even since Diego Forlan. Exactly, we've learned from the Rasmus outcome, and that's set us back. So we got to get someone that's hit decent to good numbers in countless season. Nats, man, oh my God, I like you, man. Big up Nats. You know what I mean? Like, that's the truth right now, man. We need to be getting somebody who's going to hit the ground running. We can't afford it, man. We ain't got the time. Man. And I can't go through it again. Getting another striker who's just going to come in and just be hit or miss. Like Sesko might be amazing, but he might not. But at the same time, he's not going to be amazing straight away. No striker is going to come in and be amazing straight away unless they're like Premier League proven. Apparently, as well, Villa have no intention of selling Watkins. I think that's what every team says. Rasmus different to Sesko. Sesko's been on top clubs' radar for a minute. Champions League proven. Yeah, I hear it, man. But like I said, man, Premier League is a different beast. Watkins won't happen now. I feel this club will act like broke. That's the thing, man. If Aston Villa do what Brentford done with Mbeumo and stick to their guns of 60 million, then will we stay in that? Will we stay? Will we stay for the whole thing? Will we end up going through with that like we did with Mbeumo, or will we back out of that one? Because I agree with some of you, you know, like you're saying 60 million for Ollie Watkins is a bit much. But like I said, it is the Premier League proven tax. Look, if Rashford's going for 40 million, 30 million, then Ollie Watkins can't be worth 60 million. Come on, man. Rashford's much younger than Ollie Watkins, and Rashford's done a lot more than Ollie Watkins has in football, man. Jim Bob, for a return of 12 to 13 goals in the Bundesliga, Sesko is a big risk at 70 million. Hey, every little helps, man. He is a big risk. He is a big risk. This is what I keep saying. He's averaging 13 goals a season. Like, the best season he's ever had in the Bundesliga has been like 15 goals. Like, it's not that special, man. It's not like he's absolutely ruining it. If we were saying like he's getting like 20 goals a season every season at 22 years old and he's doing his thing, I'll be like, yeah, cool, man. He's like, you can't argue with that. But I swear Timo Werner's numbers were better than that. If Watkins in 60 mil, then go for Sesko. Don't know, man. Not at the age of 22 in this market. My man's 6'5" as well. He's not soft. It's not like he'll just get bullied by Prem defenders. Do you know what it is, though? It's not about height. It's literally about... Look at Rasmus, bro. Every single time, yeah, the ball gets pumped into his feet. He's having a rumpy-bumpy with these defenders, and then he ends up on the floor. How many times? I saw it the other day against Leeds. They're not even Premier League. Like, they had literally the other day, bro, against these fucking championship-rated centre-backs. Ball got pumped into his mount. Mount pumped the ball into Højlund's feet. He's holding off these centre-backs. 2 seconds later, he's rolling around on the floor. Don't get it, bro. Don't get it, man. Like, it's a different beast, man. Prem is a different level, man. Jonathan Burke, Rasmus has given us all PTSD, but doesn't mean we have to make a desperate purchase value-wise. I hear you, man. Yeah, Rasmus has fully, bro. Rasmus fully has given us PTSD. But I don't know, man. I'm happy about this Ollie Watkins thing. I like Ollie Watkins, man. I think I've liked him since Brentford. I think he's a good striker. He's always been a good striker, bro. He was bagging goals at Brentford. And he went to Aston Villa and he settled in, bro. He's done well. He's gotten into the England team. He scored an important goal for us in the last, was it the Euros? Isn't it? Yeah, in the Euros. Bro, Ollie Watkins, man. He's the man for United. I'm telling you. Nat says, my brother, it's the realness, man. We finished 15th. We got experience. Got to get experience up front for the guys like Cheeto. Plus, I've seen games of Sesko, and he ain't really been impressive. It's true, man. We need that experience right now, man. Because like I said, we got Cheeto, we got Xerxes there. We got young strikers coming through, man. Like even if Højlund stays, like obviously I wouldn't, like we'd rather him go. But even if he does stay, then the positive is he's got Ollie Watkins to learn a couple of things off. And maybe when Ollie Watkins is done and he's gone and he's hit 32 and he's having less games, and 33 and 34 and he's having less games, then Cheeto comes through. And then, you know what I mean? Like that's the perfect age. By then, Cheeto, by the time Ollie Watkins is 32, 33, Cheeto comes through and he's look, Connor Prince is saying it right now. Good pathway for Cheeto. Timeline works. That's exactly what I'm saying, man. That's exactly what I'm saying. By the time Cheeto is 21, 22, Ollie Watkins will be what, 33? I don't know. Don't quote me on the maths, yeah, but like, do you know what I mean? Prem, diff level, bro. That's what I'm saying, man. Like, look, how many players have we seen come from? But like, this is Timo Werner, bro. I say it every single time. Like, we can't have another. We can't be doing that at Man United. We can't afford that. We can't afford that. We can't afford a Kai Havertz either. We can't be going out and getting Bundesliga rated strikers. I don't rate the Bundesliga, man. Can't be going out and getting that and expecting them to do well. Rasmus always chases his touches. We can't have these type of project players. It's true, man. Rasmus it's like a bloody trampoline with this guy, bro. Connor Prince, Watkins would be a great signing. I agree. Jonathan Burke, Watkins for 60 at 30 years old isn't good business and won't be the difference. People saying Sesko Newcastle to replace Isaac but then also saying he's not good enough for us. Look, Newcastle can take that risk. Newcastle can take that risk. No one's saying he's better than Isaac or he's good enough to replace Isaac. He can go to Newcastle and he might be good enough to replace Isaac, but he might not be. What if he's another fucking Darwin Núñez? What if he's another Timo Werner? Like I keep saying, imagine we go and sign that. Imagine he's another Højlund, bro. Like we don't know, because like No Limits Fitness says, big up No Limits Fitness, big up J Andrew 7 Fit as well, man. Prem diff level, bro. It's a diff level, bro. It's 100% diff level. And yeah, man, if we can't take that risk, bro. We can't gamble. We ain't got the chips. We ain't got the chips, my guy. Ranger says we need Højlund gone. Yeah, man, I agree. Like he's sitting there taking up wages, and I don't know, man. He's not the guy. He's not a Premier League guy. Big up everyone in the chat. Yeah, man, big up everyone in the chat. This club can't sell players, for fuck's sake. I know, man. What's going on with the outgoings? I'm hearing nothing about Garnacho. I'm just hearing him making silly little comments. I'm hearing nothing about Jadon Sancho. Rashford's out now. He's done his first training session with Barcelona, and it's looking good. Hope he does well, man. Wish him the best. What's next out of here, man? Like Malacia is not gonna go anywhere, bro. Like that guy is Dowie, bro. Like who's really gonna buy Tyrell Malacia right now? So I don't know. I don't get it. Sell him to anyone, bro. Aberdeen. Sell him to fucking Sunderland, bro. They're buying everyone left, right, and center, bro. Sell him, bro. I just don't get it. Jacko says spot on, Johnny. He can't stay. I think he talked about Højlund. Any more news on that League 2 wonder kid, Corey Licker? Sounds good, bruv. He sounds banging. You've been watching his videos. Fire. Ranger. Liverpool get deal done in 3-4 days, but we take weeks to pull one deal. I know, bruv. It's a madness. Ineos, mate. Flipping, come on, man. Pull your fingers out. Like, what's going on? It's a madness. Like Liverpool literally got Ekitike wrapped up quick time. Frimpong wrapped up quick time. Kirkes wrapped up. Look, they've got a lot of deals done, you know, already. And we're sitting there taking 10 years bartering with Brentford over Mbumo for like $1 million. Come on, man. We can't afford to be doing that. We haven't got the luxury of being able to do that right now, Ineos. We need to be able to, you know, we need to. We're not in a power position. We're not in a power position. Slap the money down. What do these teams want? We need their players. Do you know what I mean? Like, we need to be going in there, hammering down the money, and taking these guys. Yeah, he's going Spurs. Who are you talking about? Wissa or Sesko? I don't know who you're talking about there, Jim. But going for Isaac. You never walk alone. Look, man, I got to give it to Liverpool, bro. Like, as much as I hate them, yeah, I proper hate them with everything. I got to rate it as well. I got to rate the way they're moving, bruv. And I wish we could just fucking move like that for once in our lives, bruv. Look at what they've done, bruv. It's disgusting. They've gone and got Frimpong, Kirkes, Ekitike. They've gone and got Florian Wirtz. They're getting Isaac in, who's another proven striker. Do you know what I mean? They're probably going to get another winger, Rodrigo or something. Get rid of Luis Diaz for money. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is, wow, bruv. Thinking about what other teams are doing and then looking at us, it's just fucking depressing, bruv. It's a madness. Red Devil United, big up Red Devil United, saying touch of a lamppost, Rasmus project is over. I really fucking hope so, mate. We calling Sesko shit because what happened with Højlund. It is true, bro. I'm not calling him shit. I'm looking at his numbers, yeah. But what you're saying is true. We're scarred. Like Jonathan said as well. We got PTSD from Højlund, and we do, bro. So right now, I think the stage that we're at right now, we're not in a position to be going and getting projects. Yeah, we need dead certs. We need Cunha and Buemo and Ollie Watkins as a front three because they all get goals in the Prem. Look, and Buemo, 20 goals in the Prem. Cunha, 15 goals in the Prem. Ollie Watkins last season scored 16 goals in the Prem. Sorted, bruv. It's a gamble I'm willing to take, bruv. Like that. The other gamble is not like, what if they just I don't know. What if they just don't bang? I'd take Darwin just for the chances he creates. Now we got Mbeumo and Cunha. Nah, he's dead, bro. he's dead. I hear what you're saying though. He can make chances and all of that stuff, but he'll create the chances, but he won't score them, bro. Van Nistelrooy, Van Persie, man in a van, start one, bench one, sell one. I'll start Van Persie, I'll bench Van Nistelrooy, and I'll sell the man in the van all day long. Anthony Garnacho will be gone. Sancho is proper rat bum, will hold deals up because of wages. Yeah, Anthony and Garnacho will be gone. Anthony, we need to just like hurry up and deal with Betis, bro, because they want him, he wants them, and that's it. It's match made in heaven, bro. Just sell him. But I think these lot are bartering over like little bits here and there. Do you know what I mean? Like they just take so long doing this stuff, and it's like it's not changed since Arnold, and it's not changed since Murto, and all of these lot. Like they've been doing this for so long, man. They take so long to get a deal done. And it's still the same fucking thing. Who's even interested in Garnacho? Villa and Chelsea, innit? Well, look, Villa, use him to get Watkins. Yeah, use him to get Watkins. Chelsea, don't use him to get Jackson. Don't use him to get anyone from Chelsea, bruv. Don't end the show. Not gonna. Keep going. Kaz is loving it, but sit. We'll keep it going, Kaz. Just for you, man. Don't watch that. No one's saying Sesko is shit. He's just risky at 70 mil when he's still largely unproven. He's got potential for sure. And if there's only 10 million difference between him and Watkins, then yeah, go for Sesko. I agree with you, man. Like, no one is saying Sesko is shit. It's exactly it. That's exactly right, bro. But it's true. He's risky. £70 million again. Imagine that. Imagine we buy another £70 million striker. He comes in and doesn't bang in the Prem, and we're just there like 2 years from now again in the same position. Like fucking hell, when we could have got Ollie Watkins in, who's going to come in, hit the ground running, bang goals in the Prem straight away. Boom, bada boom, bada bing. Do you know what I mean? Sorted. All them Liverpool deals were done time ago. Trust me, bro. They've been putting the work in. They've been putting the work in, and the work that we needed to be putting in. I know Cunha, I think Cunha was done ages ago. In terms of like player to player, like we went and got the player on board ages ago and got his terms sorted and whatnot. And then yeah. We moved slow. We paid what Brentford wanted, man. Yeah, for Mbeumo, we did in the end pay what Brentford wanted. It just took ages. We should have just done it in the beginning. Johnny Burke says, realistically, Watkins would be on bench anyway. We'll win the league with Big Josh up front. It's minor. Now false 9 unlocked. I love that. I love the belief in Big Joshua Zirkzee, but Big Joshua Zirkzee only scored 3 goals in the Prem last season. So I'd love to hear what you're saying. I like Josh Zirkzee, bro. He's a baller, bro. In that hole, in that little, you know what I mean? Just, you know, this one. Just going into the little gaps, into the little holes, bouncing the ball off, knocking it back to Bruno. Bruno clinking it over the top to Mbeumo. Dinking it over the top to Cunha. That would be lovely, mate. That would absolutely be lovely. And hopefully Joshua Zirkzee does prove himself in that way and get himself into the team in that way and ends the season strong. But look, 3 goals in the Prem, man, or Ollie Watkins scoring 19 and 16, and I don't know, man. I don't know. Before the window opened, Liverpool had most wrapped up. It's true, they did. They had it all done. Need to get rid of They sat before Sancho. Nah, you're taking a piss. How long are you live for? I'm here, man. So yeah, man, people just joining us right now, man. We're talking about Ollie Watkins. We're talking about all things Man United. We're talking about who would you rather have, Ollie Watkins or Sesko? You know, people in the chat are saying Ollie Watkins is not worth it at 29 years. It's not worth 60 million at 29 years old. And Benjamin Sesko would be a better value for money deal to go for at 22 years old. Go and get him for 70 million. So yeah, man, get your comments in. Let us know what you lot think. Personally, I would much rather get Ollie Watkins because he's a Premier League striker, Premier League proven striker. He is somebody who's going to come in, hit the ground running, score goals from day one. And that's exactly what we need at Man United right now, man. We have not got the ability to take risks getting in another project like Sesko or Højlund. And you know, getting in people like Sesko, like it could work. He could be the next best thing since sliced bread, but he could also come in and be another Timo Werner. So for me, I'm saying I'm really happy with this Ollie Watkins talk. I'm really happy that we're going in for it now, and we seem to be focused on him because, like I said, it seems to be one deal at a time at Man United. Like we focused on Mbeumo for ages, and now we're focusing on Ollie Watkins. So yeah, man, it's looking good. I can join you for a bit if you need a guest. Yeah, jump on, man. How can I get this to you? Jump in. I don't know how. Nafraid, big up everyone coming in from Never a Foul. Big up Kaz, big up Never a Foul, man. We contacted Frankfurt. Ornstein said so. We do have the money, but club will act broke, man. Yeah, it's true. That's literally what we've been doing. We've been acting broke. I don't think we're as broke as what they say we are. I think that is literally just Ratcliffe trying to get rid of the Man United tax, because every single time we go in for a deal, it's way more expensive for us than anyone else. If anyone else came in for Ollie Watkins, you reckon they'll be asking for 60 mil? Or is it just because Man United are interested? If we can't get Watkins, would you rather go for Sesko or go for an athletic 6 and 8 and play with Zerk up top? I like the idea of Xerxes up top, man. I like it a lot. I like that he can come in and play in the tight spaces, knock the ball about. Like I said, he can knock the ball, you know, in these little tight areas, in these holes, in these gaps. He can come short, collect to feet, spread it out wide. You know, he does that stuff. Højlund just can't seem to do that stuff. He just doesn't have the technical ability. So yeah, I like the sound of having Xerxes up top. I heard somebody else today saying how they would play Bruno up in that false 9 position because it gets him out of the midfield. And yeah, he can do that. He can do that kind of stuff. I don't think Bruno can do the hold up play like, you know, Xerxes can. Xerxes strong enough, man. He's got that. He's got a bit of weight behind him. He can put his foot on the ball and spread it wide and bring Bruno in. He can knock it back to Bruno, and Bruno dink the ball over to Cunha, dink the ball over to Mbeumo. Shah Mustafa, we are 30 off 1K. Lads, listen, we are literally 30 off 1,000 subscribers. So subscribe, man. Get your likes up. Get your subscribes on, please, boys. Link in comments. Is everyone going to just jump on if I do this? There you go. Do you think we can expect movement on Watkins soon? Yeah, I do, man. I think they're focusing on him now. I think they've already started um, having a discussion about prices and everything like that now. So I think we are going to start moving in on that ASAP. Like I said, they focused on Mbumo for a very long time. I think they've gone around and they've had a little look at what's there and what's available. And Ollie Watkins is definitely next in line. Yes, big up Red Devil United. What's happening, my man?
No worries. I was just closing your stream so didn't have two voices. No, thanks for letting me come on. I thought I'd offer because sometimes when you're on your own, it's kind of hard, isn't it, to go through all the comments and bounce off things. And I saw you
Exactly.
I think it was yesterday actually, last night as well. I thought it's quite nice to have I know you're actually your co-host yesterday, so I think I've seen him on a Gal's channel
Yeah,
from
my one.
quite recently. Because because I recognise things. I've been on a Gal's channel, I think once or twice, but no, I thought I'd offer because it's quite nice to have a chat. I was doing something myself tonight, talking about Sesko Watkins, and I think what's interesting is that everybody has like an extreme opinion, don't they? If they want Watkins, they look at all the weaknesses about about Sesko, and if they want Sesko, they say, "Oh, Ollie Watkins is too old."
Yeah.
I think they're probably actually both decent signings for different reasons.
Yeah, 100%. I think, look, like I said, Sesko, because he's 22 years old, that's a big plus point. But the only thing for me with Sesko is the goals that he's been getting in the Bundesliga don't excite me. You know, like
No,
the type of goals are good. He's getting like good goals, but it's not like he's getting bagging 20 a season. Do you know what I mean? So that's the only thing for me. Like I think, yeah, I think
do you think there's like
Watkins.
reasons though? Because I was looking at this myself and thinking, I think he might play with another striker as well, so he's deeper. But also, if you look at the conversion rate, it's actually very slightly better than Watkins. So if you pushed him centre and give him more chances, I think it'd be because I think there's like different arguments, isn't there? Like people look at Darwin Núñez and say he scored like however many goals in the Portuguese league. You put him in the Premier
Mm,
League, not as good, and
yeah,
people
yeah,
make
yeah,
that kind of like assessment for Gyökeres because honestly, I have no idea how Gyökeres does. He doesn't get 50 goals, but he
yeah.
might get 20. I think it's just difficult to say.
With Gyökeres, I feel like I'm glad we didn't get him. I'm so happy that we didn't get Gyökeres because I just don't think he's gonna suit the style of striker that we need. Um, I feel like the profile of striker that we need is somebody that can play in the tight holes and tight spaces, knock the ball, get it to feet, pass it on, move into another space. Gyökeres is somebody that looks like he's had the ball given to him and playing against high lines where he could just get his head down and run at them and
He's like
take them
powerful, isn't
on.
he? Like you saw against Man City, the first goal he got, where he just
Yeah,
runs. You can't get the ball off him. He's good on the ball. You can't get it from him.
exactly like
But
that. Exactly like that.
he's not playing against a low block in the Premier League, though, is he? That's the
Exactly.
issue.
That's what I mean. That's exactly what I'm saying. He's playing against high line against Man City, where he's got space to run into behind and bully defenders and do what he does. But at Man United, he's not going to be able. He's not going to be able to do that when we're playing against teams like Bournemouth and Everton. And do you know what I mean? He's going to have to be coming into the holes and the tight spaces and knocking the ball around. And he just doesn't look like he's got
Yeah.
that in the locker.
No, exactly. I was going to say, I remember last night you were saying I kind of liked your channel, not just because you agreed with some of the things I was saying, but in the comments. But it's true, isn't it? Like people looking at Rasmus, and because of Rasmus Højlund, they assume that Sesko will be the same and go, okay, we can't sign a player for this age from this league. And I think, well, they're all different. Like Ekatike's just gone for a huge fee, and
Mm,
he's a young player as well.
yeah.
I quite like the look of Ekatike, but I think the price is like it's really high now, so I think it's still a bit of a gamble. But we don't really have the luxury of a gamble, do we? Because
No, that's the thing. That's what
we
I've
have
been
to pick
saying,
one.
man. Yeah. It's like we can't afford to take that risk. You know, like if we get this Sesko in and say he doesn't start bagging straight away, Man United fans haven't got the patience anymore.
I know. Do you find that I try to be patient, but you have to be realistic and say Ruben Amorim might not have that much time. Like we can sit here and
No,
say they'll give him time, but they might not give him time because if we buy Mbuemo Cunha, there's an expectation, isn't there? Even from
yeah,
us as fans, there's an expectation we should be higher. And if we got Watkins, I think Watkins is the best option for Ruben Amorim because it gives him at least another year to try and sort things out. Because I think Watkins will be pretty reliable. And people that say he's going to drop. So I did a stream today on my channel, and someone in the comments said Watkins will be good for 1 year max. His legs are gone and he's injury prone. And I was like, look at the last 4 years. He's missed about 3 games, like in the Premier League. And where
Yeah.
are you assuming that someone's going? Why is he going to hit the wall? He's not done it at
Yeah.
like 26, 27, 28. Why does he hit the wall now? There's no
Yeah.
reason for it. Just say you don't want him. That's
Yeah, yeah,
it.
yeah. That's what it is. That's what it is. You get people that want Sesko, they're gonna start looking at every little thing about Watkins and trying to maximize it and make it out like he's 90 years old or something. He's 29 years
I
old.
know
He's in his
exactly. I was
prime
thinking
as a
like,
striker.
how old was Zlatan when we signed Zlatan? He must have been
34.
like 33, 34. And like
Yeah, yeah,
Henrik Larsson, we had him for a few games. He's about the same age. And
yeah.
I can't remember, I think Cavani was he like 35 or something? But
Exactly. The even
I think for me, it's like it's one argument, but it's not the same. I don't think it's relevant. Like he's 29, he's not like 50. That's how
yeah,
people are talking. They're talking like on his last legs, and I find it quite funny that it's just an extreme argument.
exactly that, man. Look, Arsenal's you saying Watkins over Sesko for United's current objective. And that's exactly what we're saying, man. It's like right now we need 100%. We don't need a gamble. And although I think Sesko does look like a really good player, so did Ekatike. But right now we need somebody that's prem proven, that's going to come in and bag the goals, man. And Watkins is just that guy for me.
Can you imagine like Newcastle sell Isak and they go, right, we're going to buy Sesko and Watkins and we'll have one, get both of them.
I know, and then we're left with Wissa.
Yeah, Wissa for me, I don't know. I think he's less attractive than Watkins. He's roughly the same age, like 1 year
Yeah,
younger, I think. But I think
yeah,
Watkins is a bit more dependable.
yeah. I just don't think he's as good a player. I think Watkins is a better player. Like, and look, if we get him now, and he gives us a good 3-4 seasons, realistically, until he's about 32 years old, and then he can start falling off or whatever. In 3 or 4 seasons' time, Cheeto is going to be great age. He's going to be prime age. Like how old is Cheeto now?
I think he must be like, it's still only like 8. Is he like 17, 18? He's still really young. I think
17,
people
18. Yeah. So in
don't
three,
think
four
he's.
years' time, he'll be 2021.
Yeah, the time frame works well, doesn't it? If Cheeto makes it, the time frame is actually quite good. And I
Exactly.
hope for that. Probably Rasmus gets moved on, I feel, and then you can look at an option to try and get a replacement for him, maybe. But it
Exactly.
buys Amorim time, doesn't it? It buys Manchester United time. You don't have to worry about the tens. You got Bremer and Cunha for like 5 years, 6 years each, and Watkins for 3 or 4 years. You can sort out midfield, getting your goalkeeper. The squad looks much better than that. That's kind of my view. I don't
Yeah.
mind. Like, if I got Sesko, I'd be happy with that. But I think Watkins, uh, it's hard to see too many problems with it, to be honest.
Mm. Yeah, of course. Look, and look, us as you saying as well, we need prem proven players, not shirt sales and hype, and that's exactly what it is. And I know you touched on the midfield just then. One other player I wanted to talk about is Douglas Luiz. I'm thinking, Fabrizio said not too long ago in an Italian video that Douglas Luiz is trying to force his way out back to the Premier League. How do you feel about Douglas Luiz? Would you take him back at United?
Do you know what I'd love to see? I'd love to see Douglas Luiz play for 6 months, injury free, and then make a judgment call. Because up until recently, he was really good for Aston Villa. So if you got that player, 100%. There's only a question mark over. I don't know exactly what's happened with Juventus. A couple of like question marks, I suppose, over fitness. But if Manchester United are happy he's fit and is going to be fine at United, useful, like really good player. Because I think we've got an issue with trying to. I don't 100% know what our best partnership is going to be. I get the feeling Bruno Fernandes is going to be in the team because
Yeah,
and it's about who goes alongside him. Komenu, Agate, Casemiro. I don't know. It feels like there's no obvious solution. So I
yeah,
think he would be It'd be good, wouldn't he? If he was like the Aston Villa player, 100%. The only
yeah,
question I've got is that if there was, I think there's a few muscular injuries, and he missed a decent amount of games for Juventus. So I don't know. It's one of these things where if it's the start of bad injuries, like a Mason Mount type thing where they just get worse, it would be it might be a bit unlucky, but I don't know. That's the only caveat or only sort of kind of flag I've got is I'm just.
I think the Premier League version of Douglas Luiz was insane, and that's exactly what we need, man. Like you said, if it's going to be Bruno playing deeper, we're going to need somebody that is a bit of an all-rounder, somebody that can, win the ball back, keep the ball passing, keep the ball moving, strong in there, high intensity is what Amorim has been talking about.
Bruno could do like I'm not going to write Bruno off either though, because good players can adapt. Okay, it seems a bit, maybe he can't do it at all. But in terms of players, I mean, I've watched people like Giggs go from a winger to a midfielder and be really good. I mean, I think Giggs is technically better than Bruno Fernandes, but someone like Scholes also dropping back and being disciplined. I don't know. I just think whether like Bruno Fernandes, he could be more efficient, but again, I think if he's having to cover a lot of distance, it's kind of physically whether he can do it. I think he might intelligently be able to do it, but it depends. You got better people in front of him. So do you think that helps? Like Mbeumo, Cunha, we know Mbeumo is going to be very good at tracking back, covers a huge amount of distance. Does that take the pressure off midfield at all?
100%. I think obviously Bruno last season, when he's looking ahead of him and he's got Garnacho and Højlund, it kind of like made him have to take everything into his own hands. And that's why he racked up his numbers. But I hear, some Man United fans saying, look, he's doing everything himself. Everything has to go through him. And this.
I'll ask you a question, like regarding. So say you look at Rashford over the last couple of seasons, or you look at Bruno Fernandes, and the things they do on the pitch, like Bruno Fernandes, like you said, he'll do the same thing every day in terms of he'll rush forward, he'll create chances, but he'll give the ball away, he'll do risky things. And he does it so often. Surely the manager's got to be okay with that because he gets picked week in, week out. And if he was doing something the manager didn't want, because we've seen Ruben Amorim shouting at Casemiro like push forward, do this. But for Bruno Fernandes, I don't see him like questioning anything he does. So it must be that I get the feeling Bruno Fernandes did that because if he didn't do it, like is Garnacho going to do anything? Is Rasmus going to create anything? Like see, there's not much option, is there? And I think
that's what it is. That's what I say. With a lot of people criticizing Bruno. It's like like you said, he's looking around. He's looking at Mason Mount, Garnacho, and all these players that he's thinking.
Exactly. If he doesn't do it, who does do it? That's my point.
Exactly
I don't overly defend him, but I'm just saying there must be a reason. If you put him, because I see Jim in the comments saying he's not disciplined enough to do the pivot role. He might be though.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think he did it against Leicester in the FA Cup. When we beat them in the FA Cup, he played really deep and he done that quarterback pivot role. He's done it a few
range,
games,
hasn't he? He's got the range of passing. If Manchester United in transition have got, say, like you got Cunha and Mbeumo, Dorgu, Ahmed to find, some of those easy percentage passes where there's a lot of space into the wide areas. Bruno Fernandes can hit that every time. It's kind of the risky stuff he does on the edge of the penalty area we don't want to see.
But to be able to benefit from Bruno's strengths, we are going to need a defensive midfielder, an all-rounder of a midfielder that's next to him. And I think that's why we're looking at Douglas Luiz. That's why we're looking at Javi GUERRA as well. I like Javi GUERRA. I don't know if you've seen a lot of him.
Yeah, no, I've not seen lots of him, but I know he's got this contract situation where he turned down a contract. I think it's Valencia, isn't it? They'll probably offer him another contract. It seems to be like reasonably cheap, like 27 million euros. So you look at that and think, I think from what I can see, is one of these players that's one thing again is that people will look at young players and I think they overanalyze the stats. So it depends what he's been asked to do in the team. I can't say I've sat here and watched him too much. I can only see what I've read and just think. I can see Kaz saying that other guy's mentioned as well. I've seen him talked about quite a lot.
A horrible presser. Do you know what it is about Javi GUERRA though? Right. Obviously, Amorim has been saying he wants a high-intensity centre midfielder. Apparently, he is a high-intensity centre midfielder, Javi GUERRA.
He's supposed to
he's
be
saying
quite
he's a
athletic. I
horrible
think that's
presser.
one of the things. I think if you read any article, like if you're doing lots of streams, you'll read lots of articles, and there'll be probably an angle they're trying to push. And I think when I read about GUERRA, they did say pretty much high intensity, and it kind of ticks some of the things that people are saying regarding this one. But again, I don't know. I think there was a couple of players linked. I think Hayden Hackney's one I see talked about quite a lot as well. And it feels like there's a few options out there. It depends if Manchester United are going to go for. So, are they going to go for someone to pair with Bruno Fernandes, or should they look for someone to pair with Kobe Mainoo? Like because presumably either you play Mainoo or you sell him because he's too valuable to just be a bench option.
Mm. I think at the moment, out of the choices we have, the smartest thing to do would be to play Ugarte next to Bruno in bigger games against the better teams, because he's going to win the ball back, sit deeper, and just do the simple pass. Against teams that are playing the low block, playing Bumo next to Bruno, because he's going to drive forward with the ball. He's going to try and unlock defenses. He's going to play the forward passes. He's going to do a bit more where he's going to have a bit more time and freedom to be more forward and more higher up the pitch, and not doing the dog work like Ugarte would
Yeah,
need to.
exactly. I think Ugarte is great, isn't he? If you're under pressure and someone that's going
Yeah,
to be doing the. I think for me, it feels a bit more limited because a few years ago I wanted Declan Rice. I think when he was at West Ham because he did the sort of Ugarte work, winning the ball back, but also he's got more to his game in terms of like starting attacks and just
yeah,
being like all around a better player. But I
yeah.
think that yeah,
Him being at Arsenal, he's been given more freedom to become that player. Like the more attacking, passing, and express that side of his game.
This player that I can never pronounce his name properly that Kaz has put up. Someone sent me some video footage of him recently because he really rates him, and I think it's like with him, he's 2-footed as well, which is someone that can switch play and actually is quite hard to play against. Could be a
Yeah,
good. He looks like he's got a good range of passing as well, so I think less limited than Agate. But again, I think Agate was one where at the time I think people were like, okay, our midfield had so many holes in it. People were just happy with any midfield signing, but I think we need to be a bit more selective in the future.
yeah. 100%. I haven't seen anything from Lucy. I can't even comment. But yeah, I'll
He
take your
looks
word
good on
for
the
it.
ball. I think he's like
Yeah,
more creative in terms of like.
yeah. Going forward, what we said, the only way Bruno works in centre mid is if we have a 3-man midfield and tweak the formation to a 3-5-2. But Amorim is too stubborn. Yeah, I mean, I was saying that earlier. Like some people were saying that Bruno could be even like a false 9 and coming in and doing the number 10 role. Connor's saying Hayden Hackney is a good player, but they need someone to play with Mainu. I agree. Kaz is saying I like Hayden Hackney a lot, but we need a midfielder that's good at both front foot and back foot defending. This club is banking on Sekou Kone, I'm telling you.
It looks that way, doesn't it? I
Mm.
think it looks that way, which is a bit risky. I look at it and think that Hayden Hackney feels like quite a cheap deal. That even if you were a bit skeptical about him, I'd consider buying him just because I think he'll go up in value a lot, and it'd just be
Yeah,
one like a Chelsea way where you think he's probably good enough. I think you have to make a decision and think he's not actually that expensive, is he, Hayden Hackney? I think he's like 15 to 20 million. Although
mm,
I did see something like Crystal Palace were interested. So I think United need to be a bit more proactive if we actually want these players because they're
that's
not
what I
going to
mean.
stick around for too long.
That's what I mean. It's like we're not seeing, and like I said, they're doing one deal at a time. We're not seeing any like get up and go about Ineos. You know what I mean? Then it's all a bit slow. It's all a bit if and buts and maybes, and it's quiet, isn't it? It's like the links we're making these links up. It's like Hayden.
No, it feels like when I do a stream, I'll talk about something and say, like you say, you look at it and go, right, we're looking at Watkins, etc., because it's in the press and is it
Yeah,
well or honestly someone reports it. And people in the comments will be going, why don't we look at this guy? Look at this guy. I go, I don't know. I don't know why we're looking. There's a lot of players out there that seem like
yeah.
good options, but I just don't know why.
That's it. It's like
What do you
Belieber.
think about? Yeah, some people have been
Belieber.
saying that we should do. Yeah, no, he's a good one, but again, he's quite expensive. People have
Yeah.
been saying that what if we played instead of like doing like a 3-4-2-1, we have like 3-4-1-2 with Bruno behind two forward players, which I guess then they're probably thinking that you play Cunha and Mbeumo further forward. But I don't know. These are just people's speculations because I think a lot of people
Yeah.
actually just they're probably just looking at a squad thinking, well, what's the best to get? Like, because there's not a lot of confidence in getting more transfers done. So they look at our squad and go, right, if this is what we got, what's the best we can do out of it?
Like, look, man, there's a lot of formations that I'd rather play than this 3-4-3 formation, man. I'd rather do a
Can I ask
4-3-3.
you a question then about Ruben Amorim?
Yeah.
Do you look at Ruben Amorim? Are you worried at all that to try and get him to be successful requires a huge amount of expenditure and buying like almost a new team? Is that a
That's
worry? Because he should do better with what he's got.
exactly, man. I've been saying that. I said that. I was always saying that all last season, man. And that's
It's not
exactly
popular, is it? Because I say that and people go, "What are you talking about? We've got to give him time." We go, honestly, Wolves replaced their manager, Crystal Palace replaced their manager. They didn't
yeah.
spend 500 million, and they were much improved.
I've never seen it before where a manager comes in and yeah, he's gonna lose every single game until you
We
buy him a
finished
new
15th,
team.
and no
Yeah.
one, no one says anything. And if I say something, there's like, "What are you talking about? Don't you know we can't keep sacking managers?" I go, and I agreed to some extent, but come on, we lost nearly every game.
Yeah, he's gonna just lose every game until you buy him a whole new team. He
But
needs a
no,
whole
that's what
new
I
team,
mean.
and then he's gonna be amazing. Apparently. So yeah, no, I've been saying that, man. I've been saying it's there's no signs of him
Are you surprised that with
miraculously
that
just getting
people
better.
don't people don't think that way at all? Because I know that we should give managers time. I'm just all I'm saying is I'm not saying sack him. I'm just saying we shouldn't be 15th with his squad. Honestly,
Yeah, no, not at all. Bruno's a playmaker. I think it would work 4-2-3-1, 4-3-2-1, 4-2-1-2, but variations depends on the conditions. Bruno will have less chances created. How many assists this season? I think he'll get a lot more assists this season just because of Acuna and Mbeumo. With Kuna and Mbeumo running in behind a proper striker, especially if we get in Ollie Watkins, we're scoring goals, man.
and do
And
you remember that at the start of the season? I don't want to say too much about Rashford because everyone doesn't like him at all for whatever. It doesn't matter what he does. But there was
yeah,
definitely a couple of games near the start of the season where I think Rashford created a couple of chances for Xerxes. I think somebody else created some chances, and everybody missed them and go, "Oh, this guy's rubbish." Like, no, I go, I know, but you can only set up people, and if they can't score, they can't score. Like, how many chances did Garnacho have last season? And if those
that's the
chances
thing.
fall to Mbeumo or Cunha,
That's the thing. Like even under Ten Hag, um, I remember the game against Chelsea where was it Ten Hag or Van Nistelrooy, where we drew 1-1, and it was the first game against Chelsea, and Garnacho was
oh yeah, we
just
should have
missing.
won that game.
Yeah,
Honestly, we should
Rashford
have
hit
won
the
that.
post. I think Casemiro scored, and then Caicedo scored for them, and but we should have battered them that game. Like Garnacho
Are
was
you
missing
happy that
sitters.
Are you happy Ganacho's off? Like, are you happy with that departure?
Do you know what it is? I liked Garnacho for a long time, and I backed him for longer than everyone else did, because he's young. He was still like 19 last season. He's 20 now, or 21, and yeah, I've always thought that he has potential. He just needs guidance. He needs an arm around him, and he needs to get not played as much as he did. He was starting every game, and we were relying on him. And putting that much pressure on a young player can kind of make them go into themselves, and that's what was happening to him. And I think that's what's happened to a lot of players at Man United, because they're being relied on too early. And this is what I mean about getting in Ollie Watkins, because you're getting somebody in with experience, Premier League experience. It takes the pressure off the younger players. It's not all on their shoulders.
Exactly. Like, how can you go from like Mainu being starting for Man United and then playing like 20, 30 consecutive games? And as soon as he gets an injury, people are like, oh, okay, like injury prone. He came in as a teenager and played literally the whole season. And then I think Garnacho was the same. The frustration with Garnacho, I think, is that he's just turned 21. He's played what 70 plus games for Man United,
Yeah,
and I don't think we've really. I think it's a failure of the club initially to this for me. This situation, it's got error on both sides, but it feels like we've mismanaged the situation where we're trying to offload him now, and it's a bit of a toxic exit. It's a bit of a shame. I don't blame just the club. I think Garnacho as well, but it feels a
Yeah,
bit how it should have been handled better. I think. You
yeah,
know,
of
when you were
course.
saying yesterday, I put a couple of comments in, and obviously I can actually ask you now because there was one thing I said where you said that you like so Amorim being honest in the press and saying exactly what he thinks. Do you think that
Yeah,
some
no
things
one
should
said
be
that.
said behind closed doors? Because if Alex Ferguson was trashing players, I don't think it's. I think if Amorim's happy to say this is the worst Man United team ever, and then be pushing these sort of comments out there, how can we then go right? Garnacho can't say the same thing because Garnacho's then calls out the manager for not selecting him. It goes kind of both ways, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was saying as well about Garnacho kind of is too right for calling out the manager for picking Mount in the Europa League final. Like Garnacho's played all the
Just being
games.
honest. I mean, it's
Yeah,
annoying because I just want this crap behind closed doors and just see. Like as Late Baller says, I said the same thing. I'm literally saying the same thing. I'm saying Amron said a lot of counterproductive things, and then the players say the same things. But but I'm not trying to take sides. All I'm saying is that lots of people will then go, "Well, it's good that Amron's calling these players out." But if the players say anything, go right. These players should go. They're toxic. It's just I'm just saying that it's just
yeah,
none of it should happen
exactly.
really because
Amorim
we
done it from early doors, didn't he? He came in and started like blaming players, like straight away. Like first few losses, he's saying, these aren't the right players and this, that, and that, and he's doing it.
do
He
you
was doing it from early doors.
I was thinking that with that, surely he, yeah, where is his credit? I know he did well in the Portuguese league, but I think the first thing you need to do is say someone like Unai Emery going to Villa. The first thing he did was like actually improve things massively, and I just wonder where people just looked at it and they go, right, Manchester United 15th, the players are terrible, and I was thinking, put it this way, when people say the players are terrible, we finished 15th and then they'll go, these players have been at the club too long. Those were the same players that came eighth and the same players that came third. So people are not questioning why with the same players we're suddenly dropping down the league loads. I don't know, it's a
Yeah. Yeah, I
bit
know
annoying.
that I don't think he's earned the right for us to be completely like backing him this much. Like we're doing, like I said, we're doing mental gymnastics just to back this guy. I don't get it, man. Elite Baller says Amorim has said a lot of counterproductive things. Um, Definitely, man. Jimbo is saying, what do you guys think of Garnacho's antics with the Villa shirt? That was a dig at United, no? I don't think so. I think he's just backing his boy. Maybe he is a
I think he
little
knew
bit
it.
of a dig,
It would
but
I think he just knew it would get attention and Ganacho wants
yeah,
attention. I think I don't know.
yeah, exactly, man. That's the and also like yeah, all right, he's making a statement, isn't he? He's trying to say um Rashford got mistreated by United and got mistreated by the fans and whatnot, and therefore, I'm gonna make a statement here and put on Rashford's shirt because I'm going through the same thing. So yeah, he's making a little bit of a statement, but I think it's because he feels like he's been mistreated a little bit there. Connor saying the board did that with Rashford, I reckon. Um, yeah, yeah, I feel like Rashford got mistreated a little bit too. Um, Jim Bob saying Garnacho's finishing is awful, and is awful, and his brother is hasn't helped matters. Yeah, Garnacho's finishing is awful, but he's a young player, man. He'll get better at that. Like even Raheem, look, remember when Raheem Sterling first came about and he was like a good young player and Man City signed him. The thing that people were saying about Raheem Sterling was he's good at everything, but his finishing is terrible. And then he had that season where he scored like 28 goals or whatever because it clicked. You know what I mean? So
I think Garnacho is quite good. I know people criticize Garnacho. I think he's quite good positionally. He gets into loads of great chances, lots of chances to finish. It's just like you said, he's not very clinical. And I
no,
suppose that's not really been what he's like. When he first came to United in terms of first team opportunities, he was an impact sub, wasn't he? And he was really effective. Like every game he came on, he did something in Europe or the Premier League. And I think it's just like it's probably too much too soon to expect the same sort of return as a starting player. I think he probably played too many games, and then ultimately, like you said, we relied on him too much. That I hope that we don't see a reliance on someone like Kone if he comes through, like because usually academy players they should come in get the odd game or two, but I don't think you should be seeing them suddenly start like loads and loads of games. I hope we do get that balance right because that's something that Ruben Amorim needs to get right because it's it's one of the things that looks like we're planning for. I get the feeling we're actually like buying players for the academy with the idea of fast tracking them to the first team, but like
Yeah,
sort of Aiden Heaven type thing. So
yeah.
you can't overplay them.
No, and like I said, we've seen that happen with Hoyland, and we've seen it happen with Garnacho. They're young players; they get brought in early. Like a lot of the pressure goes onto their shoulders, and Man United fans are so unforgiving. Do you know what I mean? This,
They don't have any leaders in the team, though, do they? Like, who was the leader in the team last season? Because you'd
Bruno.
normally expect the more experienced players to be the leaders, but they're the ones that have been effectively frozen out. It's like Casemiro was marginalised, and
Yeah,
Rashford's been like pretty much kicked out quite early on. So then
yeah,
you look at it and go, we've got loads of players that we just bought in the last window, and then we got no, the most experienced players don't even play, do they? Like Evans, Lindelof, so they were pretty much out. So
yeah.
who's the natural leader? Like Bruno Fernandes was the captain, but apart from him, like maybe De Ligt, but De Ligt had only been at the team like less than a season.
Exactly. I think it was just Bruno. That's why Bruno had to take the game by the scruff of the neck every game, and take matters into his own hands. Elite Baller is saying, is Amorim's formation suited to the Premier League? I don't think so. I don't like the 3-4-3 formation at all. But just because what does it transition to when you're attacking? What does it tell? It's quite flat the whole way through. I think maybe a few years ago when Conte did it, it was good. But since then, I don't think it's. I mean, is it working for Chris? It's working for Crystal Palace, but are they going to win the Prem? Like,
It feels a bit. Our team felt really predictable last season, where almost every game followed the same pattern. I was thinking, if it's predictable for fans, it must be so predictable to play against because
yeah,
if um, after watching Ruben Amorim for about 10 games, I was thinking, right, this is what will happen. This will be the lineup. And then Bruno Fernandes will start in the 10. After about 60 minutes, Bruno Fernandes will drop down. This person will come off the bench. And you kind of predicted the sort of same sort of pattern. And I was thinking, the only thing that's actually break from what he was doing was the final where Luke Shaw starts, Mason Mount starts, Ganacho's on the bench. When I saw the lineup, I was thinking, what's going on?
yeah,
Because Luke Shaw played a few games in the Premier League, presumably to get him up to speed, but it was really quite bad. And I was thinking,
yeah,
he's like, there's not, I don't know. So I get the thing, he changed it in the one game he shouldn't have changed and
yeah,
made it
exactly.
worse.
And I think that's what pissed off Garnacho, to be honest, because he's looking around, he's thinking, what's going on here?
I
So
don't know.
yeah,
I find it's a bit limited though. I think the formation. I've not been impressed, but I don't know if that's because the results have been bad, and
yeah,
it's a bit disappointing to watch. Also, it feels like we're watching the game thinking, where did the goals come from? From being like, I don't know if you remember, uh, I don't actually know how long you supported Man United for, so I don't.
all my
But
life, man.
but sort of what sort of like 90s.
Yeah, man. I'm 33. I've supported them my whole life. So
Okay,
yeah,
so I was thinking that we used to go from a stage where it didn't really matter if we conceded the odd goal, we'd score like two or three and not even think about it. Whereas now it
yeah,
feels like we're scrutinizing like, oh, Bruno did this pass and this defender didn't make this tackle and the goalkeeper made, and it's one goal. We've conceded like one shot in the whole match, and I'm just thinking, right, if we concede one shot in the whole match and we lose the game 1-0, we've got to look at the attacking play surely and thinking, how can we do better? But you're always
um,
going to concede goals, aren't you? Like even United throughout '90s, early 2000s, you concede goals because there's good teams in the Premier League, there's good finishers, but you've got to
yeah.
be able to score regularly or create a lot of threat. And we just didn't do that. I don't know whether it's the system or whether it's that Rasmus, Ganacho, Xerxes just weren't effective enough as a team.
I think that watching this system, it just looks boring. It looks like where are the goals going to come from? Like you said, you know what I mean? Like
It looks
It's
too slow, doesn't it?
it
It
looks
looks
so
really slow.
slow. It looks so slow and lethargic as well. Like even watching them against Leeds the other day, it still didn't really get any better. You know what I mean? Like who's it's getting knocked about, and then even if you, I don't know if you watched Amorim at Sporting Lisbon.
I saw a bit. I saw the City game because I think
Yeah,
that was the game after he got announced as manager. And I think one of the second goals, there was just loads of running off the ball, quite lots of good movement, quite quick passing, and I was like, okay, this looks really good, like really nice fluid football. But when I watch it here, that okay, there's a lot of passing from the back to midfield, which takes ages, and then I don't know. By the time we've actually got the ball anywhere near their goal, they've got like 10 players back. We're so slow, and then you just
yeah.
think, I don't know what we're going to do with this one.
I don't know, man. Watching Amorim at Sporting Lisbon, it was like pass, pass, pass around the back, and then knock it long to Gyökeres, and Gyökeres just does what Gyökeres does, and it's
Do you think the
just
difference is that well, I made this argument to people recently? You know, when we got Ruben Amorim in, and everybody says, right, Gyökeres is good. I'm trying to think who else is there. You got Gyökeres, you got Quenda, you got Hijulmand, you got Diamanda, all these different players. They go, right, sign this
mm,
player, this player, this player. And I was thinking, no, seriously, guys, if you drop Sporting Lisbon, his entire team into the Premier League, that's not winning the Premier League. Where's that going to come? So what's this
yeah,
obsession with like buying every single one of their players? It's like,
exactly. And when Ten Hag did it, he bought all of the players that he's
I know
played with.
exactly.
He got
And
ripped.
what did like Ajax had a really good Champions League campaign, but just remember they got knocked out by Spurs. So the Ajax team would have probably been about fifth or sixth in the Premier League at best. That's what
Yeah,
I'd just say it's like really I think it's lazy journalism to be honest. I think that's all it is.
yeah, 100%. Um, Jim Bob says Amorim cost us over 200 million with his recent decisions, half on the final loss to Spurs and half on insisting Bruno stays when we could have
Do you think he
got
stopped Bruno
100 million.
leaving? Like that's a difficult question.
I think so. Yeah, I do. I do. I 100% do. I think he's he's thinking about imminent success, and that's why he's thinking about getting these Premier League strikers, Premier League players, Premier League scoring players, because he needs imminent success. He hasn't got a long time. He
I
hasn't.
think it's
He
a
can't
mistake.
afford it. He can't afford
Hon-
the time.
Honestly, it's a mistake, isn't it, keeping Bruno? Because like Bruno Fernandes, he suits Ollie's team. Like you have Matic and you have Pogba, you put Bruno Fernandes in front. It works well. You try and play a different style of football. There's better players than Bruno Fernandes to go in the positions we need, and
I
that money would have
disagree, man.
been.
I think that, look, Bruno played. He was the only bright spark for us last season, isn't it? And he did that whilst playing with rubbish players around him. You know, I think if now Bruno's finally that they're trying to get better players in, players that are scoring goals. I think Bruno's only going to get better, isn't he? If he's
Where do you
got
put
better
Bruno
players.
in the team then? Do you play him alongside? Like if we start the season tomorrow, do you play him alongside Agate then? Is that your?
Against Arsenal, yeah, I'd play him. I'd play him alongside Ugarte in the midfield. I'd let him be the creative one. I'll tell Ugarte to sit, do the dog work, and just pass to Bruno. And against the better team, against the lower level teams, I'd start Menu alongside him right now. But that's for me. That's where I'd play Bruno. I don't think he should be in the number 10. I think we need to have faster, more attacking players there. I think he slows the game down a bit too much. Him and Mount as well when they play in those number 10 positions. We need players that are going to be able to running behind from those positions. So yeah, for me, man, 100%, I'll put Bruno in there. I do agree that obviously 100 million is a lot of money, and we should have probably sold him for that. But yeah, Amorim needs him. Amorim's job is dependent on it. So I think he'd
Yeah,
rather
I
have
think
Bruno.
Amarin's like probably a bit risk averse after last season. I can kind of see where he's going, but I think I'm thinking like 4 or 5 years in ahead, thinking that yeah, I'd look for that. Say, go for someone that's going to be better in the 2 or 3 years. But I can see why he's done it. I think it's like different opinion, isn't it? Where someone like Vivell, someone like Barada, they're thinking of like what's happening in 4 or 5 years' time. Where Ruben Amorim's probably thinking, can I get through the season and get that second year? I guess.
Yeah, man. Jim Bob agrees with you. I think he's saying Amorim begging Bruno to stay shows he doesn't have a clue about tactics, as he doesn't fit into the system anywhere, especially after Cunha and then Buemo have been bought.
I'll give Bruno. I will say this though. I'll give Bruno the chance to prove me. I think he might do better than people think. That's my prediction because I think Bruno's a good player, and I think what he did last season. I've got reasons for it. I'm just thinking 3 or 4 years down the line, we're gonna have to replace him at some point. Why not
Yeah.
replace him for like 100+ million? It'd be quite nice.
Do you think we can get 80 million for him next season?
I don't know. I think the Saudi Pro League wanted with Al Hilal wants him this year. I don't know whether they go for him next year. It did seem weird actually. They tried to buy about 5 players. I don't think they got anybody in the end. Like nobody wanted the money. Everybody thought that people would accept it, but it looks like they got less pull than anyone.
Yeah. I think if he has a good season this season, we might still be able to get a good little 70 mil for him next season from the Saudi Pro League. So it might be a win-win situation here for us. You never know, man.
That'd be good. I think it just felt a little bit like a one-off offer, but you never know. It might come in.
I don't know. I think they want him. They want him bad. You know, he fits their aesthetic over there, isn't it? Like he's the kind of player they would like. Yeah, Connor's saying, I said this earlier, we can get 60 to 80 with a good season. I hope so, man. I hope he does have a good season, and then we can get rid of him for 80 million next season. Because we do need him right now, innit? And Amorim needs him definitely.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see because I know this season I'm kind of half the time I feel optimistic, and I look at the deals like Liverpool and like Arsenal doing, and think, wow, okay, it's going to be a bit messy. But I think getting from where we were to getting Europa League football is not too bad. I think it's like getting to the next level feels like it's getting further away.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of cautious. I think Bruno will do. I think he'll do better than the negative people think. I think that's what I'll put. I think he'll do a bit better than like people think it's going to be a disaster. I don't think it'll be a disaster. I just think
No.
it'll be not as spectacular as like we'd want it to be,
I
perhaps.
think it's going to be good, man. I think Bruno playing in that position there, he has the ability. He has it in his locker. He's going to have better players ahead of him right now. He's going to have Cunha to play into. He's going to get Ollie Watkins to play into and Buemo to hit over the top. He's going to have Ahmad out on the right wing. It's going to be good, man. It's going to be good. I'm looking forward to it. Football Locker Room Banter says sub up people, 26 left to 1K. Lads, look, man, we're 26 people off 1,000 subscribers, man. That is a big landmark for us. So if you're in the chat, you're viewing right now, we've got 109 people viewing right now. Press the subscribe button. We're going to be doing a lot more of these, a lot more chats, a lot more people on as well, a lot more debates. Like I said, when the season starts, I can't wait because, like I said, we're going to be getting Arsenal fans on, Liverpool fans on, Chelsea fans on, and we're going to be just having it out with them. So yeah, Rich, I'm sure you'll be along for that as well.
No, follow me on social media because I usually try and get guests on my channel as
Yeah,
well, and that'd be good as well because I don't know you. Don't know
nah,
your name actually because it's covered by the comments.
yeah, it's Manar
I mean,
football.
no, it's nice to meet you, and I think I don't really know Kaz, but I have seen Kaz a couple of times. I
Yeah,
think again, it's like a YouTube thing. You kind of see people but don't really know them. I tend to just do my mostly sort of solo streams, but I do have a few. Like, I usually do like something similar to this, where I have like, one or two guests on.
yeah,
But again, it's everyone's like this. It's quite nice to have get some different comments, and I think a lot of people got similar views, or but there's general frustrations there about what's the best option. That I think the midfield's the most tricky one, isn't it? Because you got, I think most people probably agree Casemiro's not in there.
no, he's not. It's Ugarte and Mainu for me, man. Ugarte and Bruno.
I want to see Mainu. I want to see. I think this is how I'd judge Ruben Amorim. Like Mainu's a good player. How
Yeah,
he must be able to organise a team somehow where he gets the best out of. He needs to get the best out of Bruno Fernandes, the best out of Mainu, because they're quality players.
100%. Connor agrees with you, saying Mainu in the pivot with a midfield who eats ground so Kobe can progress the ball. That's what I'm saying, man. That's what I've been saying. Ugarte playing in the midfield against the better teams because he wins the ball, passes it to Bruno. And that's what Bruno needs. He needs a ball winner next to him who's just going to give him the ball and let him do the transitions and let him spread the ball and get us on the front foot. But against the lower level teams who are playing the low block, we need to be playing players like Mainu in the midfield, and he can progress the ball like Connor Prince is saying.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Exactly, man. I don't think I disagree with Jim here. I don't think he's a number 10. I don't like him with his back to goal. You know, I like him where he's got the pitch in front of him. And he can progress the ball like Connor said, and he can come through and then take advantage of those tight little holes and tight spaces and play those sharp passes in between the lines. But yeah, man, look, I'm excited for next season, man. I think we're gonna be, with these signings, we're gonna be a much better team. I'm not sure how long Amorim's gonna last. I don't know. Like,
I don't know. It's not an easy start to the league, is it? Like, there's a few difficult games there. Arsenal to start with. I think got City and Chelsea early on. I don't know.
yeah,
I think where Mainu fits is kind of a difficult question as well, isn't it? Because I think people look at him, where was it against Liverpool or was it in the final against City where he got decent finish? I think there's a couple of games where just playing a bit further forward. I think it's because he's pretty good, isn't he, in terms of technical ability. So if people try and press him, he's able to hold them off and also able to beat them. He does make good decisions. I think the only thing real that people criticize him about is probably athletic ability. But apparently he's been doing like sprint training and things to improve his speed over 5 meters. Maybe
yeah.
that's paying off. I mean, he's still young, isn't he? So I would also say he could develop in one or two ways as well, couldn't he? Because do you remember someone like Roy Keane, who was, if like Roy Keane's early career at Manchester United, it's going back a long time, but he was pretty much bursting into the box and trying to get on the end of crosses and trying to be more of an attacking player. Whereas it's only like when he started moving further deeper that people rated him as it became sort of a more complete player. And I think Scholes was the same. With Mainu, I don't know, it could go either way. I think he's good enough to play in a few different positions, but it depends on, for me, that the biggest issue I've got is that Ruben Amorim's system seems to bring out the worst in some of our players. That's the only kind of criticism I've got. And I don't know whether it's a system or whether it's just he hasn't got enough for the right sort of players.
It's literally that, isn't it? Like, people keep saying the players don't fit this system, but it's making them worse. And I think even under Eric Ten Hag, these players looked a bit better, didn't they? So
No, do you know what I said? This is another point as well. When people were saying, "Oh, Scott McTominay is rubbish because of this reason," or "Fred is rubbish because of this reason," and there's about 10 different combinations of players. And I was saying at some point, do you think it could be the system that's the problem? Because we've paired like about 10 different players together, and we've seen exactly the same problems. And I think it might be players running straight for our team. So it's either Ericsson plus this player, or because McTominay and Fred were quite mobile, we still have the same sort of issues. So it's
yeah, I
sort
think
of, well,
I don't like it at all where there's a big hole in that middle.
yeah,
So your two midfielders are quite, they're a bit deeper, and then your two tens who are supposed to be tens, they're not really, are they? They're kind of like wing forwards. They're a bit wider,
yeah.
and then that just leaves that big fat hole in the middle. So that's where we're getting exposed. It's basically three midfield. Every time we play against the team, they're playing 4-3-3, or they're playing for three in the middle, and the three in the middle is just exposing the two in the middle every single time. I remember against Southampton when their wing forward was just one-on-one with Lenny Yoro every single
Yeah, it
time.
doesn't matter what. Lenny Yoro had a really bad game. Not, I don't think it's that he had a bad game. It was that it made it look. It was
He got
hard for him
exposed.
because of that situation. Yeah,
He literally got he got left one-on-one with this guy every single time. And I think any player would have had a hard game there because
Yeah,
that player
that's what
was
I mean.
fast.
It's that it's one of those things where I was trying to think that there's examples going back a few years where you watch a few games and literally there's McTominay in the middle. There's no one near him, and people will be running through, and people go, "Oh, look at McTominay. Well, what's he supposed to do?" There's two people. He can't do both. He can't do anything, and people usually blame. I think people usually blame the last person. So if the problem's further up the pitch, they'll blame the one defender, one midfielder that's actually trying to cover the space. And I just think
Mm.
it's at some point you go, look, it's not that player's fault. He's actually because I think some people look at Casemiro, and naturally, normally based on Casemiro's experience, sometimes he'll know he's not got the recovery speed, so he's not going to push forward because he knows that if he does that, he'll be unable to recover. And I think that's the problem where Ruben Amorim's like pushing him forward, and Casemiro knows that it's a nightmare if he does it. That's why.
Yeah. I mean, this comment here from Elite Baller, we missed McTominay's goals this season. I would have kept him as bench player. Do you know what? Yeah, I was one of the people that was saying, get rid of McTominay, get rid of McTominay. But, under this Amorim system, I think he would have liked
Would work,
McTominay.
wouldn't he? Do you think a ball
Yeah,
progressor? McTominay's not a passer. He would probably
no.
be quite a good player to have in
He's
that
this high
attack.
intensity, flipping headless chicken that Amorim wants, isn't he? So I think he would have been good in there.
I think he would have been like people look at Turkey. I think McTominay would have been like. Also, how many goals did he get? About 16 in all competitions. He's a finisher. He's a good finisher, McTominay. If you get him,
Yeah,
if he had the same amount of chances as Garnacho, he'd get way more goals. So
100%. He scores all types of goals as well, important goals
I
that
didn't
we
mind.
need.
I didn't mind McTominay. I thought with
Yeah,
McTominay, one of the things I'd say is sometimes if you still watch what he's doing, I think he makes the right decisions, but he hasn't got the application. So he'd try
yeah,
and like bend a pass out to the wing, which you think that's the right thing to do, but he'd miss hit it sometimes, and it would just be wasteful. And people go,
yeah.
"Oh, what an idiot! What's he doing?" He's trying to do the right thing. He's just not good enough sometimes. But what he was good at was the things that he's showing in Italy, like running with the ball, finishing. And I think he's uh, we sold him fairly cheap as well. So I was probably in the minority that said I think he's worth keeping because I didn't see many people on our team scoring goals, and he was also. You don't get any drama with McTominay. You bench him for 3 months, he doesn't seem to care, and
Mm,
he's just professional. And his salary was a fraction of some of the players we kept. So
yeah.
I don't know. It's a
That's it. The only reason, not the only reason I was saying at the time, yeah, sell McTominay, blah blah blah, is because we were playing a different system under Eric Ten Hag, where I would have liked to see more of a ball player, a better player on the ball in the midfield, and then that time there we weren't playing Bruno in the deeper midfield. We were playing, was it Casemiro and can't remember who was next to Casemiro at that time. It was what was his name? Began with an A that we got.
Amrabat.
Amrabat. That's the
Amrabat
one.
on loan.
Yeah. So I
Yeah,
would I
maybe
would
we
have
should do
liked to
that.
see a better pass.
I wouldn't mind us doing that this season. Maybe we need to look at a couple of loan deals to try and
We
cover some of the
probably
gaps.
will in the end. Yeah, we probably will end up getting a couple of players on loan. I mean, Kaz in the comments said earlier getting Douglas Luiz on a loan with an option to buy wouldn't be a bad shout just because of his injury proneness.
Yeah,
Um,
that would be ideal, I think. And maybe
yeah,
Juventus, maybe they go for that because if we look at from our point of view, we might be happy to get a player leaving like Rashford like last season obligation to buy because if it works out, United buy him. I think if it works out, I'm trying to think out. Is Douglas Luiz about 27? So
yeah.
it wouldn't be bad if Casemiro is leaving. It wouldn't be bad to get someone that's going to be like 5 years younger.
No, that would be a great shout, man. And yeah, we definitely need someone. What happened to the Edison links? Haven't heard much about that since the start of the transfer window. Um, that's another player I thought would have been a good one for being able to do that job
Yeah,
next
it'd
to
be good.
Bruno.
Might depend on the price. I think with Atlanta, they seem to want to sell him, and I kept seeing a price fluctuating between. I think they seem to want to be trying to push the price up with the sort of hope there's a bidding war. I think Man City were linked, but I don't think anyone was actually interested. So it might be still it might be still one, but I think United have got apparently. Well, I don't know if we have got limited money, but it seems that we're trying to say. I will say actually Casemiro really good passing. That's true. It just hasn't got the athletic ability for the system. But you saw it in
Yeah,
Europe actually, line breaking passes. Casemiro, I think attacking wise is actually a bit underrated. Really good
yeah,
in the air as well.
exactly. Yeah, no, he passes forward a lot, and like you said, he does break the lines with his passes. But yeah, it's the only thing he's lacking right now is what he's been lacking, and the physicality side of things. But look, he's been in training, and he's been looking a lot slimmer and a lot trimmer.
It
So
looks like is Casemiro playing for like a nice contract somewhere? Or we're going to see a bit more. I don't know. There's not. There's no reason why he couldn't improve his athletic ability a bit.
yeah. Well, look, lads, I'm gonna have to cut it short there. Well, not quite short. We've been on live for like an hour and
That's
35
good
now.
because it's getting a bit late in the UK.
Yeah, man. Yeah. It's been a good one. It's been a great chat. And yeah, Rich, man, big up yourself. Put your the name of your channel in the comments.
Okay, just bear with me. I'll just like reopen the stream because I closed it because I don't want to like have an echo effect.
Oh, can you not do it through the StreamYard?
I should be able to. Let me just open my channel thing up. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll see if I can post it. Oh, you're welcome. Let me join the chat.
Big up Connor, man. Big up everyone in the chat. Lads, subscribe over to Rich's channel too. And if you haven't subscribed to us, then pay your rent. Like the video as well. And yeah, man, we'll be back on again probably same time tomorrow.
I'll paste it in the private chat. You're able to share it because I don't seem to be able to get in there otherwise.
Yeah, I don't know how do you do it in the private chat?
If you can just copy it and just paste it in. I'll put a few comments in the stream. People can probably find it from clicking on that if they want to. But
yeah. Oh, private chat. There it is. So that's a link, yeah.
Yeah, it should be a link. I think it should be a link to my channel. I think. Let me.
So what is the name of it? Red Devil United.
Red Devil United.
Red Devil United.
Blatant Manchester United propaganda. Although it's pretty hard to push out a positive at this point in time. We try.
There you go, guys. That's the one right there, boys.
I've just been
Yeah.
getting disappointed today because obviously I don't like Liverpool. And they seem to be building a ridiculous team. And if anything, they're actually going to give Newcastle loads of money to then nick targets I wanted as well, which is doubly bad. So
I know, man. That's it. It's every day that we're having
it's
to
relentless,
witness
isn't it?
it.
You start the day thinking, like, as soon as something good happens, like in Bremer, you think, right now this, I don't know. Every day there's a fewer strikers to choose from. If someone buys Watkins tomorrow, what do we do then? I'm just going to be in. Where are we shopping then? Like Poundland.
The championship.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Hopefully we get this one done. Hopefully we get the Watkins one done, and we'll have you back on, and we'll be celebrating that one, man. But yeah, love you and leave you guys. Have a good one. All the best. United.